it was like 3 a.m. my time in Missouri. And I got a call from him and I'm like, what the I literally know he's one of my best friends. I'm like, I know he's in Afghanistan right now. And I answer the phone and I'm like, hello? And he's like, kind of scratches like, Taylor? And I'm like, what? Like you're, and he's like, yeah, dude, I just got in my first firefight. I was shooting. I saw bullets coming at me, whizzing past me, running around, gunfire. It was the most wild thing I've ever experienced. And I realized I absolutely can't call my mom. I absolutely can't call my dad and tell them about this. And the only person, like friend of mine's phone number I had memorized was yours. And I just got to talk to someone about this, man. It was wild. And I'm like,
awesome.
I'm glad you're okay, man. Like, when are you coming home? like, do you have any other dreams or aspirations of a job you would love to do? Like if you had your opportunity?
Something I was going to do
accountant
right before COVID hit. I was actually going to join the army. I know the army, the pay is all
everyone's dream job.
Tax-free. Don't forget, you don't have to pay.
I hope you make it.
You don't have to.
The reason why I want to do something like that though is for the brotherhood and for the skill set of learning how to shoot a gun properly and how to, just fight. And let alone travel a little bit. That sounds like fun. Travel while fighting people.
Yeah, that is
the French Foreign Legion is way more your style though. Like the French
I know.
Foreign
So
Legion
I've been thinking about them lately too.
You've been thinking about joining the French Foreign Legion. That's fantastic.
Yeah. I could see
I think they're pretty intense. Like they're known for being intense.
Taylor, I'm with you. I'm like, the Army is a very survivable job, especially right now. We're not involved in any major conflicts. In the next 4 years, we probably will be because it's America.
Well, exactly. That's why you join now, so you can be high on the ranks when it happens.
Watch.
They're going to try to recruit everyone, unless
So you're going to get in early, so you're out of the grunt zone by the time it happens. No, why the Army?
Not outside the grunt zone, but I have more experience at that point. So
that's like to be on the ground fighting.
Why the Army though instead of like Marines or something like that?
So I might say the thing with the Marines, like I probably could do them, but I just don't know if I want to do that.
What's your ideal Army role? Is it like paratrooper, tank, something else, like a maintenance job of some sort?
I feel like either paratrooper or just like a straight up soldier, like the infantry.
Right.
But at the same time,
they would love to hear that.
I might.
You go to a recruiter and start talking like this, he's going to be patting you on the back, buddy.
Yeah, he's going to get that job. Yeah,
they're going to drive a truck for the next 4 years.
I feel like another good one would be is the National Guard. And the reason why I say that, they actually do get a lot more training than every other branch because they have a lot more free time training on guns. So if you want to get really good at shooting guns, the National Guard is the way to go because they have a lot more free time. They always win the competitions they get in.
Really? Is National Guard is that a full-time job or is that like I've never known that.
So that
some people there are full-time jobs.
That depends on what you want it to be. There's some contracts you could do where it's like a part-time job. You do X amount a month. Or you could do all the assignments that the Army goes to.
And there's reserves, right? There's like a couple. You can be in the reserves and you do that like, I don't think you do anything. I think you show up every few months and like do some basic shit to like kind of check in and yes, sir, ready to report if shit hits the fan kind of thing. But
essentially,
man, right now, the thing to do, if I was 25, I would probably fucking do it. I'd be in Ukraine doing something silly, either either operating a drone or maybe something scarier. I don't know. Somebody
did you guys see that video of that Russian dude who got shot and then a bomb dropped on him? He just rolled over on his back. And you like look into his shoulder. There's just a giant gaping hole.
Ooh, I actually know the one you're talking about.
I know the
the exact one he's talking about with the giant gaping hole in the back of his right shoulder when he rolls over. Yeah. They hit him with something big. Yeah.
Yeah, that dude's insane.
Was that the grenade?
How did his body not blow up? First off.
That's just not how explosives work. It's got to be a big baboom to blow him into smithereens. They're just dropping those grenades right on top of them and blowing chunks out of them.
Is a grenade strong enough that like if it was like surgically, like saw style, implanted in someone's stomach, and then it blew up from in there, it wouldn't like would their body be total, like would they be in half, or would it would just explode out and they'd just be like all shredded up probably?
So I'll say this because that's like a made up hypothetical I don't know much about.
Yeah.
But lots of guys have thrown themselves on top of grenades and survived in World War II. It happened a lot. They would throw their chest and their belly on top of it and get severe shrapnel wounds, or their ass. I think Grandpa Simpson did that. I think he did that. But so I think, but if there was a grenade surgically put inside of somebody's body, I think it'd blow a big hole out of them but I don't think it'd blow them to smithereens at all. Because when
those
you see grenades go off, and
there's no way that those were fully functional grenades. There had to be something wrong with them, like they didn't blow up all the way, or they didn't shoot all the shrapnel or something. There's no way you can jump on top of a grenade that works 100% perfectly and survive.
What if you put your helmet on it?
Just like
that's
Abe
what
Simpson.
Grandpa Simpson did.
Is it not?
Yeah,
Captain America
he sat
did it,
on it.
I think. I'm not sure.
Captain America stole that from Abe Simpson.
No, Captain America like went into
Simpsons did
fetal
it,
like position around the grenade. No, there's multiple cases in World War II, I know for sure, of guys throwing themselves on top of grenades and surviving it, and then plenty of people dying, as well.
I wonder
what's the safest job if you're like an elite soldier? I always thought like
driving a fucking truck.
But like the sniper actually seems unbelievably dangerous because you're all by yourself out there, or like with one other dude, right?
I think there's some positions on big Navy ships where people tend to survive a lot, especially now.
Yeah, if you're on a
our
big
Navy's
ship,
superiority is so lopsided.
Kyle,
did you disagree? You rolled your eyes.
If you do well,
No, I was just thinking of like first of all, in our military, the survivability rate is insane. Half of our military deaths are always contractors. If you go back to Iraq and Afghanistan, they'll be like, oh, we lost 7,000 people. That's not that bad. And 7,500 more mercenaries that we were paying too, that they don't talk about. But it seems like if you're just a grunt in the army driving a truck, your odds are pretty fucking good. So if you put yourself, now you're, I don't know, Seaman First Class McGovern's who turns a wrench on some Navy ship, or you just sit behind a computer somewhere on the Navy ship and monitor the fucking cooling system or something, it's one of those ubiquitous jobs. I think there's 5,000 men on an aircraft carrier.
Well, shit like that, like, yeah. But I mean, like, of combat people.
Yeah, I'm
like,
glad you said that, Taylor.
Zach
has some lists on the side. Like, there's admin, financial management, HR. Right? That's
HR.
My brother-in-law was in the Air Force. I mentioned him briefly. His job was to look at pictures that satellites took carefully and circle things that he thought other people would be interested in. Like, hey, look, this truck moved a little bit. Pass that up the chain and see what they make of it. That is a high survivability job.
Yeah.
He's not getting hurt at all. He works in air conditioning.
Yeah. You circle the wrong truck and they kill you. I doubt it. Like, it's not going to happen. But like, if you're out there in the mix, like the grunts have to die, or like the grunt equivalent of the SEALs or the Marines or whatever, the front man who's like really fighting, bursting in the, like, there's no way that like even a sniper, like, that's got to be way safer than that guy. Is there anything more dangerous than the guy going in first?
Kicking down a door seems extremely dangerous.
The first guy through the door.
Shout out my buddy. That's what he did in Afghanistan. Tough as shit.
Did he hit the door or was he first through it? Because those are different guys.
He was first through with a shotgun.
Yeah, see, that's the worst. That's got to be the worst. There's no way that's not the highest mortality part.
It was the most exciting thing he's ever done.
I bet.
You know what's tough? I'm sorry, Kyle. Did you want to go
talk to that guy?
Yeah. Dude, is he ruined for normal life now? Like I am a little bit. I have made good money not working very hard. Am I still capable of working like I used to? I'm not even sure. This guy has to readjust to life where a fucking, I don't know, roller coaster at Six Flags is supposed to be considered exciting. It's not exciting to this guy.
No, there's no way it's exciting for like there. I think I've told this on the show.
Door 100 times.
Yeah, many years ago I said this on the show. Like, so he dipped out of college because he got nervous that Afghanistan was going to be done before college, and so he he left because he wanted to go fight in Afghanistan, and he got there and everything, and it was maybe I was a junior in college. This is like 2011 or whatever, and he called me. It was like 3 a.m. my time in Missouri. And I got a call from him and I'm like, what the fuck? I literally know he's one of my best friends. I'm like, I know he's in Afghanistan right now. And I answer the phone And I'm like, hello? And he's like, kind of scratches like, Taylor? And I'm like, what? Like you're, and he's like, yeah, dude, I just got in my first firefight. I was shooting. I saw bullets coming at me, whizzing past me, running around, gunfire. It was the most wild thing I've ever experienced. And I realized I absolutely can't call my mom. I absolutely can't call my dad and tell them about this. And the only person, like friend of mine's phone number I had memorized was yours. And I just got to talk to someone about this, man. It was fucking wild. And I'm like,
Awesome.
I'm glad you're okay, man. Like, when are you coming home? like
Never.
Because he's like leaning into it, like it was insane. Like the rush, like I couldn't stop moving around afterward. And I'm like, so you like saw bullets coming at you? And he's like, yes. And I'm like, but not close. And he's like, no, close. I was like, oh my God, dude. Like, and like to him, he was so amped up. The adrenaline was pumping. But to me, I was just like, fuck, I don't want one of my best friends to die in Afghanistan because he's so amped up. But
Are you
and now like
that?
he'll talk about like how crazy it was, all the experiences. But then like when I see him with like another Marine, you know, the camaraderie they just instantly have as Marines, like they start sharing stuff. And then you like see the excitement come back out of like, oh, do you remember this and that? Were you this kind of guy? And something I have seen that's funny is he's a like frontline fighting combat Marine. And every so often, like I'll see him talk to another Marine who will be like a higher rank than him and be like, oh, I was at West Point and this and that. But because that guy didn't go through like the level of shit, there's almost like a deference respect of like, ooh, like that you went through a different level.
I have a friend who served in the Army, and I don't think he was quite as like kicked down doors as your friend was, but he was in combat and stuff, and I don't want to say changed him, but like it's helped him put a different perspective on life's stress. So he's in a job interview, and the person interviewing him, right, he's the candidate, was nervous as heck. And I loved his line. He's like, I can tell you're nervous. Don't worry. I haven't killed anyone in like 20 years. And it's like, holy shit. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Does
you can tell the people that have. Oh, what's that?
I was gonna say, does your friend have any cool tattoos? Like, does he have like knock knock Marine Corps like on his bicep or something insane?
No,
nothing like that. But he has a ton of tattoos.
Nice.
A ton of tattoos. I'm like pressuring him because he's got one giant full sleeve, and he's like, I want another full sleeve, and I'm like, no. Like, if you're gonna, I have no tattoos, so I'm biased. But it's like, no, like if you're gonna have a full sleeve, you need that point of comparison with your regular arm, you know? Otherwise, you get that like Joe Rogan, just like dirty, like middle school desk scribbles look.
Taylor's friend, if you're watching, get a tattoo. The PKA pill logo is popular with the girls.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. He was so funny getting his tattoos early. He was just like, he'd come up with something he thought was funny and just get it. He got a chest piece, like a giant chest piece that just has like a wolf in a tuxedo holding two guns pointing out, and it says relentless. And he's like, it's hilarious. Like, it's just he's got a bunch of funny tattoos.
That's an awful tattoo.
Shout out him.
Yeah, shout out Taylor's friend.
Tell him that.
That's great. So he had a shotgun. I like that's why I would like to talk to him, because I've never talked to anybody who used one in combat. I remember seeing some videos of guys talking about using them in combat indoors and how you could fire the buckshot along walls and ceilings. You know, you spray into the wall or the ceiling at a very sharp angle or a flat angle so that it sort of rides that flat surface and goes under doors, along walls, because people will be peeking just outside of a doorway, and you can make all that buckshot skim along the wall if you shoot it just right. If it's
that's so crazy.
I didn't know that.
Shotguns are fucking nasty.
Such a cool weapon, a shotgun.
Yeah, if he did what he did, then he has blown holes through people's heads as big as your fucking fist. You know, that thing was up close. A shotgun with buckshot is just insanity mode.
Oh, it just deletes people, apparently.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So if you were to be a warrior, John, you're going out there, what is it? Almost a fantasy that you think it would be fun to be in the war, or are you serious, like you would actually want to fight?
I want that skill. I want that combat skill. Like, that's why I started Muay Thai and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, because I want to know how to fight properly. So if I were to join like any type of military branch, the main purpose is to have the combat skills.
Okay.
But I feel like everyone's going to need to know that skill here soon with the way the world is heading.
Is it the more
the
the
main
gun
reason.
skill you're looking for, or like
Everything?
fighting? Okay.
Yeah, combat tactics, gun, marksmanship, like the whole. Because
I don't
I was
like boring
thinking,
things.
like I don't want to rain on your parade. It sounds like you like the idea of joining the armed forces, but you could learn those skills without signing away years of your life to the armed forces, because there's a chance that they'll just send you through basic training. You'll shoot like, I don't know, 300 bullets, and then they'll make you drive a truck for 4 years. But you could like hire somebody to teach you how to shoot.
But as long as you read the contract and you get them, if you tell them exactly what you want in the contract and you won't sign it, and you got basic training already and you won't sign the contract, they're going to fix the contract for you.
You sound like you know more about it than I do. I just see people on Reddit sometimes who are like, signed up to do this, and it's like, I don't know, Call of Duty. Well, now I'm doing this.
So a lot of time they tell you, quote unquote, you have a job, but if it says something else in the contract, well, that's the contract. You fucked now. You signed it.
So I've been on some of those subreddits too, like ones that active duty army people are in. And there's some of them give advice to people entering the army. And it seems like a good place to spend your time if you're about to do that. They'll tell you what to say to the recruiter and what to make sure is in the contract. Because just read the contract. That is advice that was given to Call of Duty YouTubers in 2013. Reading contracts is hard. And sometimes they're intentionally written in a way that's difficult to understand.
Oh, yeah.
I've been through a lot of school. I still struggle to read contracts. I would hire someone to help me read it.
I don't trust myself to read any contracts that matter, like with any amount of money or any amount of me being given away, like literal, I don't trust myself to understand what that. Maybe if it was like a couple sentences, but then it's like, shit, what is this not covering now? There should be more here,
right? Yeah,
if it was just like, you get this, I get that. I'd be like, man, we probably should have covered some what ifs in here.
Yeah. The more they add, the harder it is to read. The less they add, the more you're at risk. You need a lawyer.
That's the racket. Like you gotta pay them their little percentage to make sure that you don't fuck up. Because, like you said, with those YouTube contracts back in the day, there's a lot of that. Most contracts are predatory in nature. The first one you'll get.
Well, for example, right after I got off the TV show, I did a photo shoot with someone, and they were trying to convince me to sign this contract. And they threatened to sue me if I didn't sign the contract. And the contract was basically saying if I sold anything under my name, they would get 25% of it. And that would have lasted for 7 months. But there was a loophole, I guess. It could have lasted indefinitely. So this guy, if I would have signed it, would have owned 25 or something percentage of everything I sell under my name.
Right. Remember the grand finale of Fish Tank when Sam Hyde read the contract and told the people that there was no guarantee they were getting paid at all?
Yeah,
that's true.
Contracts can be like that. Now he was not predatory, so he paid people. But if he was, everyone there signed the contract, including you.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So. Anyway,
but the nice thing about having autism or any disability, if you sign a contract, you can get out of it because you weren't in your right mind, quote unquote. Just like how all those chicks, when they get married and they sign that contract and they want to take none of this money away, I was depressed. That contract doesn't count anymore.
I doubt that's true.
No. Those contracts get thrown out all the time because, quote unquote, maybe she drank that day, or maybe she has anxiety, or any type of.
Are you telling me prenups are thrown out all the time because maybe she drank or was depressed?
Yeah, there's a lot of cases where
all the same. Read your contracts and get a lawyer.
So like me personally, I wouldn't even want to get married legally with the government just because of that alone.
I bet there's a good website or service that does that a lawyer reads your contract for a quick flat fee and gives you a quick 1-over. That should be a thing, right? I don't.
That is a thing, yeah.
Yeah, I don't need your services. I don't need your whole firm getting in order. I don't need an appointment to your office that I have to drive to. Can we get a
But
video
also,
call?
if you want a lawyer to
Like
read his
telehealth.
contract for free, all you gotta do is tell him you got this case for him that he could make a lot of money, and he will read it for you and tell you what you should do, and then he's gonna expect you to sign up, and then you just don't sign up.
Yeah, I don't want to make any enemies in the legal world, but I would like an app where I could just legitimately like pay him whatever, $100 even for a 20-minute conversation that was filled with knowledge and wisdom.
But you can just
I
do
don't
that
have.
in person at that point.
Yeah, but I want to avoid that. I want to avoid the in person. I don't want to go see you. I want to click my phone 3 buttons and go, "Hey, lawyer man, I've got this PDF just got sent to you. Would you look that over and we have a call in 2 hours?" Absolutely. See you soon, Kyle.